We're going to begin this hour with an inside look at an unsolved missing persons case. It's 15-year-old Kristen Galvan. She disappeared back in 2020. Her mother and Houston police say they soon discovered she was taken by a sex trafficker. Now, her story is featured on the new season of the popular Paramount Plus docuseries. It's called Never Seen Again. It highlights different missing persons cases every week. Here's a look.
Straighten it out. He did it.
Kristen was loved. She was a really good kid.
When Kristen was 15 years old, she went missing.
I get a phone call from Houston Police Department. We have your daughter. Police officer said we found Kristen in a shopping strip on Bissonnette Street.
Nothing good happens on Bissonnette.
She had been sex trafficked.
These traffickers, they know what to do to lure these girls in.
My 15-year-old child was sold from man to man.
Arian Jackson was a trafficker and had approximately 10 to 12 women that he trafficked on the Bissonnette track.
He told the judge, quote, "I never had a chance in life," and he asked the judge for mercy.
When Kristen came home, she was terrified. She was scared that they were going to find her and they were going to hurt her family. At that point, there's no escape.
Within 2 days, she was gone.
These people know exactly how to go right back in and hook her right back out.
Traffickers are extremely patient, methodical, and above all else, evil.
I couldn't protect her because I didn't know the darkness that was lurking. So I went back to where they found Kristen.
Cars just lined up, waiting. It's like they're shopping.
I didn't realize this was happening.
I once heard someone say that there's sort of a 90-day rule. If the person stops showing up in ads, stops being around, that the odds of them being alive are a lot lower.
They're out there rolling down the street, picking up minors to have sex with them. What else are they capable of?
I do believe that she's alive, and I do believe that somebody knows where she is.
I knew at that point Kristen was not out there. If she wasn't there, where was she?
Boy, Rachel Fischer, who you just heard from in that clip, joins us at the table to sort of unpack this for us. You know, we just heard you say that these sex traffickers know what to do, or the officer said they know what to do. What does that mean? What is it that they're doing exactly?
So they're grooming these kids. They lure them in with a hope of a relationship or true love. It's Romeo Juliet pimping. They're narcissists. It's all about them. I've never met a pimp I didn't like. They're very charming.
Charming?
Manipulative, like psychologists without a degree.
Charismatic.
They know what to say. They lure them in. Mom and dad are mad at home. Let me offer you a better life. Let me take care of you.
You know, what's also interesting in the documentary that I watched about Kristen, she had gotten out. Her mom had gotten her out. They had taken away her phone. They were watching her. And the minute they give her phone back, she's back in a week later. And then the doc said that it's not uncommon for people to get out and go back at least 7 times. Why is that, Rachel? That surprised me.
So kids are either running to something or from something. You never know exactly what home life is like, and it's not always the fault of the home. It could just be being allured by this charmingly bright lights, money, gifts, this life, and so they run to that. They usually have multiple phones, so taking a phone away from a child, they're just going to go find another one and hide it. So it's very difficult to keep tabs on that and to monitor it because there's calculator apps that you can tap certain numbers and you're talking to sex predators.
It's a whole new world. Wow.
Parents think, oh, my kids have 3 calculators. They're going to be a financial advisor. No, they're talking to bad people.
I do want to ask more about your role as a forensic nurse, but since we mentioned the multiple phones, that raises the question of parents. What can parents do to prevent this kind of thing from happening in the first place or happening again?
So parents, it's really important to talk to your kids about this stuff. Nobody wants to talk about these dirty words or bad, scary things, but you have to, because they're learning about it in junior high. It's predominantly our junior hires and high schoolers.
And what is that conversation?
Just talking to them about what they're going to hear on social media, on these games they're playing at home. Tell them before they hear it from somebody else, because if they hear it from somebody else and they do it and they get in trouble, they're going to turn away even more and run to these people. If you tell them and warn them about keywords, emojis, this is what you're going to see, this is what you're going to hear, when they see it, they're like, oh, yeah, I was warned about that, stay away, as opposed to getting lured in as a good thing and then being told no on the back end by your parents.
Yeah, you mentioned social media, and for some parents, I don't think they know the depth and the darkness that can kind of reside in social media. So explain that a little bit, how social media plays a role in what these young women go through.
Yeah, so it'll be somebody that comes through social media in a direct message, a chat room, or they'll start talking to them about, oh, what school do you go to? What is it like out there? And then they target vulnerabilities. They don't target a certain class of people. It's just a vulnerability. They look at posts on social media of, oh, it was bad, or I'm grounded, I'm sad, no phone for me. Then they'll get a direct message, I can get you a cell phone right quick. And so
they're more meticulous than
very
you
meticulous.
think.
Do you have any thoughts, Rachel, on how we can end this?
Ending it. So it's supply and demand. And so our girls, our kids are the supply. The demand is the people who are buying sex, who are looking for children online, targeting them. So if we can end the demand, that's where we need to go to actually end the problem. That means we have to talk about it, have those difficult conversations with the consumers, the people who are looking for these children to buy and targeting them. That's who we need to target.
You say it's more than just men going away and having affairs. You said, you know, if men really understood what was happening here, that would make a difference? What do you mean?
So sex trafficking picks up at ball games, at any area where there's a large concentration of men. Women can be buyers too, but it's predominantly males, right? And they're thinking they're just helping somebody out. They're ordering an escort, but they don't know that it's a teenager. I hope that if all the men last night that paid for sex, because it happens, if they knew the story about how the girl got there, and that she's not really 18, she didn't show you your driver's license before you paid, I'd hope they wouldn't do it. But they don't know, because nobody wants to talk about what it really looks like.
I think you give men too much credit in thinking they don't know. I think they need to know better and choose better. I think they do know. Yeah.
Correct.
You've put your life into this work after being a survivor yourself. What was that decision like? And talk a little bit about this forensic nursing that you do.
So for me, I was a survivor in Detroit, Michigan. I survived it. I mean, since I was a young kid in the foster care system, I was taken out of home, put into another one, another bad situation, ran from home at 15, same concept. Running to somebody promising me a better life. You could be a model, you're beautiful, let's have you make some money. Doesn't turn out that way. Luckily, I got out of it, but when I did, I wanted to be able to be a voice for the voiceless, people who didn't help me, the system that failed me. I wanted to fight it. So now I go and I train law enforcement, I train CPS and schools and teachers on how to prevent it. What did you miss? And how can we prevent this? Because it's exhausting to go out and find missing children. I do a lot of recoveries. I go out looking for them, and I help officers with investigation on finding them, because I've lived it. So now I spend my life turning my mess into a message and trying to help others so that they don't get stuck. So we don't have to waste our time finding people. Let's not let them go missing and have people take them to begin with.
Rachel Fischer, thank you so much. Yeah, your words are going to land with somebody today.
For sure.
I guarantee you, somebody's listening. A man is listening. A child is listening. It's going to land with somebody today. Thank you so much. Never Seen Again is now available to stream on Paramount Plus, which, as you know by now, CBS News is part of Paramount Global. If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, you can call the human trafficking hotline at 1-888-373-7888. We'll put it on our website, too. But it's 1-888-373-7888.